Greetings to all of my amazing, beautiful zodiac signs. We're going to get into a all signs reading. These are general. Take what applies to you, leave the rest. Okay. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the Sea Soul's Journey Oracle cards. Okay. So we're going to start with Aries and work our way around. All right. And happy birthday to all of my Aries. Happy birthday season to all of my Aries. Happy birthday season to all of my Aries. Happy birthday to you all. Let's start with a message for you. Compassion. May you tend to the suffering. Aries, you need to deal with some situations that are causing you a lot of suffering in your life. These are rocks that you had in your life that keep you sort of submerged. Maybe you feel like you got to hide your emotions, because that's what I see right now. I see there's something that you allow to be on the surface, or you allow yourself to be vulnerable in certain ways. Like you'll talk about certain things, but then other things you just really keep hidden. Okay. And it's causing you some sort of pain underneath, but it almost feel like it's an ego thing. You don't want to really say that, or you don't want to appear that vulnerable. You be like, the hell with that. I'm not letting nobody know I'm going through that, or I just went through that, or my man cheated on me, my wife cheated on me, my job, I'm dealing with bullying, or I'm dealing with something. It's something that you need to have compassion with yourself in a situation. Because I feel like a lot of this has to do with, you just don't want people looking at you as weak. You don't want people looking at you as somebody who has been sort of like taken advantage of, or somebody who was not appreciated. You understand what I'm saying? So there's certain things you're willing to be vulnerable about. Other things you like, oh, hell no, I ain't saying nothing about that. I'm not putting that out there. So this is a time for you to be compassionate about yourself. You don't understand how much people will be able to relate to what you're going through. Okay. And you will get some level of support. So may you tend to the suffering. It's something you're suffering with, but I kind of feel like you may even use other people's problems as a distraction. Like a way where you don't have to deal with your other stuff. It's like, oh, look at what they're going through. Look, their man cheated on them. Let me put that out there. But you don't want to say your man is cheating on you, or haven't treated you right, or they don't have enough money, and look at their financial situation. But, you're afraid of not having enough financially. It's something that I kind of feel like you may put the light on others, because you got a lot of rocks that's exposed here, but then you got rocks that's under the surface. Okay, so there may be certain things that you expose, but there are different kind of rocks. So I feel like the only time you're willing to expose something is when you feel like it's everybody involved, where it's not just on you. It's like, see, we're all going through the same thing, because you don't want to be that person who is humiliated. It's almost, you're okay with humiliating others, but you don't want to go through that same humiliation process yourself. But I do feel like this is a situation, I see you needing to have compassion for yourself, because the lack of understanding of where your need to kind of like expose others has a lot to do with your own insecurities, or only expose certain things has a lot. But I feel like your story could be like really healing or something in some way, Aries. The Seven of Pentacles is in reverse. It's something that you haven't seen something coming to fruition the way you want it to. You could be very frustrated about how long something is taking. You could feel like, or something just was a bad investment, or like you put all your eggs in one basket and it didn't work out. I feel like you may have, but I do feel like you're kind of reluctant to change. It's like, hell no, I'm not admitting to that. I'm not admitting that's a situation for me. That's a problem, or something like that. There's something that you didn't want to come, that did not happen, that you're pretending it's not a big deal, but really it is. For it to come out in the Seven of Pentacles, it's some sort of investment that you made. A Taurus could be significant. Or you may have significant Taurus placement that you're upset that it did not go all the way to a 10 of Pentacles. You wanted something to be a 10 of Pentacles upright, but it wound up being a 7 of Pentacles in reverse. You may feel like you have to start over because something didn't work out, a relationship didn't work out, a career didn't work out, or something dealing with your second house. Some sort of investment you made, you put a lot into it. You invested into something, someone, and it didn't work out. And instead of you admitting that you have egg on your face, you could have got a lot of warnings. Maybe there's was other rocks around you, people who are secure, or people who have gone. If you think about a rock, usually a rock is part of the earth. It's part of, this could be other earth signs, or maybe you dealt with somebody who has significant earth placement. They may have significant Taurus placement, Capricorn or Virgo placement. But I do feel like somebody tried to warn you about a situation or someone. And you kind of, being in that Aries energy, cardinal energy, you kind of just say, you know what, I'm going to take whatever happens, happens. I'm going to just go the route I want to go. And then when something kind of like backfired, you're pretending like it didn't affect you, but it does affect you. You may be trying to point out other people's downfalls or insecurities or something to take the attention off yourself. Let me see what this is. The hidden truth. But it's something, I keep getting the energy, Aries, that if you speak up about how something really makes you feel, or you may see it as embarrassing or something like that. But I feel like if you really speak up about how something makes you feel, instead of trying to focus on somebody else's shortcomings, it's going to make you even more relatable. You're going to get some sort of unexpected level of support that you didn't realize you would get. Even if it looks humiliating, or in your mind you think it's something really embarrassing. I don't know how to feel. Yeah. It's like you don't know how to feel in a situation. 1 minute you want to expose it because you feel like you need that level of support, or you want people who can say, oh, I went through that, I can relate to that, or something. And you definitely will get that. It's like you need to stop pretending that something is not affecting you the way that it is. A lot of water is here. This could be a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of water here. And they may have even significant air placement. You got the clouds up here. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. It's something that you're pretending that does not affect you, but it really does. And I feel like the more you just say, you know what, I'm tired of pretending, fuck this shit, I'm going to say how I feel. I'm going to say how it's really affecting me. I'm going to just say how I feel. You know, I love somebody, but they screwed me over. I want somebody, but they don't want me. It's something that or I wanted this job, but I got screwed over. I was dealing with bullying on a job. Or it's something that you need to just be upfront, not only with yourself first, but with other people. And you're going to get some level of support that I feel like there may be a few people who judge you, but I feel like you're going to get some level of support overall that you may not be expecting to get. This confession, so to speak, if you want to call it a confession, is going to be a part of your healing journey. It's going to even teach you how to have more compassion with yourself, and people are going to be more compassionate with you than what you think. Maybe you are telling maybe you're telling the wrong people what's going on or something. You may need to kind of something you need to realize. Ooh, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, because something is like out of control. It's almost as if you're caring too much about what people think of you. And this could be people who don't even have their own relationships in order, or they're making it seem like everything is perfect in their relationship, and it's not. Hold on, let me get these cards situated. Because I feel like there's something going on, Aries, where you're just really holding a lot back. If you love me, say it. If you want me, prove it. If you trust me. It's something that it's like you need to say how you really feel, because you're going to get some level of response that I feel like you already made up in your head how something is going to turn out. And that's not it's like you're letting your fear of embarrassment, humiliation, or rejection alter what you should do. Let me see something. Shit could be so much worse. Yeah. Be grateful. Stuff could be so much worse. It's like something you need to be grateful for. Let me see what your final message is for the universe, Aries. You may have a lot going for yourself that's positive, that you need to be grateful for. And you're looking at this one situation that did not work through. It's like, I need everything to work out perfectly in every aspect. That's like an illusion. Everything ain't got to work out perfectly all the time, because whatever is not working out perfectly in your life is a life lesson. It's something you need to pay attention to, something you may need to work on with yourself and change. Things could be much worse. Yep. So your final message, Aries, is your time is coming. Everything is coming together for you, but you must meet the universe halfway. Hold only a bright and happy version of yourself with successful outcomes, and don't allow your fears or insecurities to stand in your way. What did I say? Something about your fear of being embarrassed or humiliated, or your insecurities or something. You're allowing that to stand in your way of just like getting through something that for real, it may be other people who can relate to this. Something that you invested in, you're worried about having egg on your face. You're worried about, oh my goodness, everybody gonna laugh at me that this didn't work, or they may be talking about that's my karma, or I'm dumb for missing somebody or loving somebody. Like, who the fuck, hey Aries, who the fuck cares? Look, we're moving out of Pisces season into Aries season. You need to talk to some damn Pisces, for real. I know so many Pisces who don't give their whole life is fuck you. I'm telling you, they will give their emotions to something or someone, but as soon as they feel screwed over, they're like, fuck you for the rest of this mother freaking life and the next 100 and eons life. And they mean that in the core of their soul. That's a galaxy, galactic type energy. So yeah, people may say, oh, they're stubborn, they're holding on to a grudge. I'm telling you, Aries, Pisces have allowed themselves to be humiliated just to see how other people will act, treat them, and everything. That may be something you as a first decan Aries may need to pick up on. Some of you all have picked up on that energy where you're like, I don't give a shit about what people think. We all go through stuff. Mine is just publicly and everybody else is hiding their stuff, right? It's something that you need to be like, I don't give a shit about what people think. People gonna talk crap about me anyway. But I do feel like with all of these rocks, different kind of rocks, different color rocks, you may not want to express something or speak on it unless you feel like everybody else is involved. You don't want to feel like the only one going through something, or you don't want to be publicly humiliated or something. So your time is coming though. Everything is coming together. But you do need to meet the universe halfway. You can't ask for all of these things, but yet you're willing to hold back. So it's something that you need to step up and be honest with yourself about. Be grateful for what you currently have. Because there's a situation where I do feel like you don't even know how to feel. One minute you want to just expose everything and say, you know what, I freaking love this person. I don't care what it look like. I don't care what nobody think. I don't care who hate me. I don't care who laugh at me. This is what I want. And then another feeling is, I just don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to look like an idiot. Look how many people will laugh at me. You know what I mean? So it's something that you're going to have to come to grips with yourself and deal with your own insecurities and your fears. You're allowing it to stand in your way from when really once you move that out the way, you're going to see how free you can be. All right, Aries, that is your reading. Happy birthday to you. We in every season. All right. Let's move on. Taurus. My Taurus. All right. Let me pull some cards for my Taurus here. Let me pull some cards for my Taurus here. Let me pull some cards for my Taurus. What's going on with my Taurus? Hailed. May you feel the ocean's caress. So, Taurus, some of you all just want to be hailed. You really do. You could be a fixed sign all you want. I don't care what you say. You want to be hailed. You want to feel the caress of love. Good energy, sincere energy. Not the, you know how the ocean is natural? You want something to come to you in a natural state, a natural way. You don't have time for the phoniness, the fakeness, all of the I love you, but then their whole, mood change, the energy change, the I love you turns into what can you do? What have you done for me lately? Or maybe you're saying that. But you do want to be held. Some of you all just want to feel safe in someone's arms. You really want to feel the energy of feeling safe in arms, of just, being able to be vulnerable and letting down your guards and not feeling like somebody's judging you or looking for your insecurity so they can use it later, or putting you down, or looking at your past so they can use it, bring it up or something. Some of you just want to feel held. You want to feel loved by the universe. You want to feel loved and held by someone. Some of you all just need a really big hug. You do. You want to be caressed, but you just don't want all the BS that come with people and their insecurities, issues, or whatever. And I feel like that's something you've had to deal with. There was a study that said people who take really hot showers don't get enough physical contact. So maybe you're someone who take really hot showers, okay? Because you're looking for that human touch, that human connection, that body, that hot heat that comes from a body. Okay. Ten of Swords, you've had to deal with a lot of betrayal. You're like, where is the freaking love, man, in this world? You've had to, people gossip about you, call you crazy. In spite of you being betrayed, though, look at how this energy is still on their phone. They're still looking at what their options are in life. You haven't given up on you, even if people judge you a lot. Even if they, but you do get tired of having to be so strong. You get tired of having to be so strong with your own. You just kind of want to know, where is the sincere human beings on this earth who are not judging you so harshly, or people know about what you've gone through, but where, if they say that they love you, where is the love for real? There's a lot of darkness in the background. So you may feel like, with all of these words and swords, this could be communication. Maybe you feel like you get a lot of love on the internet, but in real life you don't get that. Like, where's the freaking love in real life? Where are people who show up for you in real life? The internet love is one thing. You could have 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, but if you don't have 100,000 people showing up for you to show you love and support, and 1 million people showing up, it starts to not mean much. Okay. So I do feel like this is a situation where you're looking at like all the love and support that you have, but you could feel like in real life you've been betrayed a lot. People have kicked you when you were down. They didn't have your back. So right now you've gotten into a survival mode in the Ten of Swords of just finding your own way and keep going. You keep going in spite of. In spite of being hurt, in spite of being betrayed, in spite of the rumors, in spite of the put downs, you just keep moving forward. But I do see you desiring to be held and just feel like sincere love, sincere caressment. Not nobody videotaping you, not nobody recording your conversations, not nobody going off speaking about what you all discussed. You just want a real friend. You want real support, real, like, you don't want that shady shit. Like, maybe you've even had to deal with this from people who are very close to you. To put a sword in somebody's back, this could come from a lot of people who were very close to you. You could feel very betrayed by a lot of people close to you. Maybe you feel like these are people who you allow to get under your radar or something like that, you know. And then the next thing you know, they come to find out they were gossiping about you, or they were feeling some kind of way. You may even be reading text messages, emails, or something like that. Like, was our connection ever real? Was it really, you know, something? I just kind of feel like you're getting to the realization that somebody wasn't really feeling you, and you just really want to be held. You may want to cry in somebody's arms. You want to feel safe and secure. What is this? I don't want to let you go. That's what you want somebody to tell you. You want somebody to hold on to you and never let you go. Maybe you feel like all the relationships in your life, people have just sort of treated you like you were just I could take you or leave you. You know, you want somebody who would feel like they gonna never, but not in that crazy type energy of psychotic, like, you belong to me, I control you. I don't feel like you want that. You want somebody who will never let you go because they just value you too much. They want you to want to be there with them. They want you to so you want somebody to feel like, okay, I cannot let this Taurus go, and I will do anything to make them happy. I just don't, I know if they don't want to stick with me, okay, I have to accept that, but let me go and just be my best person. Let me show up for them in the best way. That's what you want. You want somebody to show up for you in the best way. And that's what you really do desire. You want somebody who's not going to be, so maybe you've even tested people to see if I behave this way or act that way or say this, are they quick to let me go? But Taurus, be careful, because you got to realize you're dealing with people who have been betrayed too. And they may be looking at your behavior, a test from you, as a test from them. They may be like, okay, God, this is my test. If this person treat me like this, maybe I need to move on. So you got to also, that's where that clear communication needs to come in. If you want somebody to be honest with you, you need to be honest with them. That doesn't mean that everybody won't tell you the truth, but trust your intuition when it comes to people. Okay? You don't want someone to let you go. You want them to hold on and not betray you. Not hold on in a toxic way, but hold on to you because they value, they see your worth. They see what you bring to the table. You really do mean the most to them. So they're willing to put on, they're willing to show you the best sides of them. Okay? Because fuck it. Rebel. Some of you all have been a rebel. You just been like, you know what, just fuck it. Like, I've shown people I've loved them, I've accepted them, I've been there for them, I've sacrificed for them, everything. I feel like you really are asking, where's the love? Where is the love you said you sent to me? Somebody could have been making promises that they did not keep. And you just say, you know what, fuck it. Like, I've been there for so many people. I've let people get past my boundaries. I've let them get very close to me, and then only for them to stab me in the back with, it's something that you just, you know, maybe you're seen as a rebel because you're like, you know what, I don't give a shit no more. I don't care no more about people who pretend to love me. But I really feel like something is a front. You really do care. You really do want love. You really do want to be held. You really do want to feel the ocean's caress. Okay? Let me see what your message is. You want to feel somebody, you want somebody to be vulnerable and open with you like how the ocean is, but also very powerful. Okay? You want that. But I feel like your defense mechanism is being a rebel. Like, man, just fuck it. Like, if you don't love me, I'm not about to keep making sacrifices for you. If you can't show up for me, I'm not about to keep making these. You know, it's like you're tired of showing up for people and letting them get close only to feel betrayed. Your message from the universe is, if you didn't get something you really wanted at this time, if you feel stuck or feel like things are not going according to plans, know that something bigger and better is coming. It's something filled with divine magic that couldn't come into your life if you were to receive what you are asking for now. So something is meant for you to wait. You're meant to go through something towards that. It may not feel like it at the time, because you really, to me in this reading, it looks like you really want support and love, but you have gone into this sort of defense mode where you got barriers up, where you like, cause fuck it, like if you gonna talk crap about me, I'm gonna give you a reason to talk. That's what I see here. I'm about to say Aries, because I just did Aries reading, but you could be in the energy of an Aries. Okay, some of you all feel really betrayed. You're like, you know what, if I'm seen as a rebel and somebody who is problematic, and these are people who I've allowed to get past my boundaries, and then they get close to me and betray me, like, I might as well be a rebel, because they gonna look at me in a negative way anyway. Gemini could be significant Mercury energy there. All right, Mercury is retrograding, and Mercury is in Aries. So some of you all, you've had to deal with a lot of betrayal from somebody who has been talking really bad about you, that you allowed to get close to you. And you may be like, okay, fuck it. Like, I'm not about to prove nothing to you. All right. All right, so Taurus, let's move on. Let's move on to Gemini. Let's move on to Gemini. Let's move on to Gemini. I ask anybody to timestamp these for me. Let's move on to Gemini. Let's move on to Gemini. Balance. May you find equilibrium in motion. So Gemini, this is a time for you to find some level of balance in your life. Some of you all need to get your ears checked. You may be dealing with ear issues, some sort of buildup of wax or something like that. Make sure it's not throwing off your equilibrium. Some of you all may have having to deal with like dizziness or something like that. So make sure you go get that checked out. But something about you being in motion, regardless of, like, find your footing in this life. You need to find balance, whether you are moving forward, sideways, whatever way you're moving. Okay, make sure you're staying balanced in some way. You're not overworking and not having enough fun, or you're having too much fun, but then you're not like putting in that time and effort. Make sure you're showing love where you want to receive love. Make sure you're being honest with yourself about things and honest with people. There's some sort of balance that you need to have. I do feel like a lot of clarity needs to take place in some area of your life, Gemini. Okay. Again, Mercury is in retrograde right now, and it's in retrograde in Aries. So Aries could be significant. You may be dealing with the Aries, or you could have significant Aries placement, but there could be a situation where there is a lot of communication where you need to be balanced regardless of what the situation is. Make sure Aries rule the head too. So make sure you're dealing with situations that has a lot to do with you keeping your head about things, okay, when it comes to communication. Let's see. Seven of Cups here, Scorpio energy. So I do feel like you're looking, this could also represent all of your options. You could feel very dizzy because you have so many things before you that you need to, like so many options that you're paying attention to. It's like a smorgasbord of like what you are looking at. But Seven of Cups is Neptune energy. This is you needing to see something for what it is. Neptune can be a card of illusions, a lot of emotions. It could be a card of drugs. It could be a card of alcohol, addictions, things like that. Things that sort of alter your perspective, okay? You're not kind of seeing things for what it is. So make sure you're not getting inebriated or too, you know, toxic. You're not being... around someone. Maybe make sure you're not around someone who is encouraging you to drink. There's a situation here I also see that you need to see something clearly. You're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have a lot of options before you. This could be you're going to a club, a bar, or something like that. There's a lot of water here. There's a lot of cups there. This could do with beverages. Maybe you're going to a bar and, you know, somebody's encouraging you to drink a lot. Don't let someone make you feel out. It's hard for you to keep your balance, okay, in some way. So make sure you're not putting yourself in a bad situation. That's just sort of like a warning. But I do see you being in the Seven of Cups of looking at all of your options, needing to make a decision, but sort of unable to make a decision because you're in some sort of state of like an illusion. There's some sort of you're addicted to seeing things through rose-colored glasses. You need to see something clearly about some level of balance in your life. A Libra could also be significant here, or the fairness in your relationships or connection. Make sure you're not always the one going to someone or always having to do things their way. Make sure someone isn't trying to bully you into doing things their way or saying something their way. Someone could be painting a picture that is not true. This could be maybe you're drinking and they're trying to coerce you into saying something or saying something while you are under some influence, or it doesn't even have to be alcohol. This could just be someone fucking with your mind, trying to get you to see something their way or do something and justify it. I do feel like you may be coming in contact with somebody who has an ulterior motive. They're getting something out of it by using you. Maybe people listen to you talk. Mercury is your ruling planet, so you could have some sort of platform where people are listening to you talk. Make sure you're saying what you want to say or doing things your way and not based off of what somebody else is trying to influence you to do. Okay? All right. I trusted you. Yeah, I feel like somebody may betray your trust, Gemini. So be careful. I just said that somebody is trying to get you to do something their way. And this could be you feeling betrayed because they put all of these options before you and then try to sort of guide you to the option that was best for them or what they really wanted. Not necessarily what was best for everyone overall. And now you're trying to find some level of balance. Something could make you feel like you're all balanced, or something could have knocked you off your feet. Not necessarily physically, but this could be energetically, where you feel really sort of knocked off your feet, like you just don't know how to deal with something now that a decision has been made. You made I feel like somebody really coerced you into making a choice that was best for them, not necessarily best for you. Someone knew you were in this Neptune energy of illusions. Or someone could have tried to make sure you're not doing something under some sort of like state where you're not really in your right mind. Under pressure, under duress, under the influence, or something like that. Someone is trying to get you to do something, but I feel like you're going to feel betrayed after you make a decision. That's what I see. It's something that's it's for them, not you. Scorpio could be significant. Libra could be significant. A Scorpio may be trying to convince you to do something for them, or a Libra, or someone with Scorpio or Libra placement. You may feel betrayed moving forward. Somebody got you to do something and it's not even it's not beneficial to you, it's beneficial to them. Thoughts can be sneaky lying bastards. Don't believe every shitty thought you have. Yeah. Again, somebody wants you to, I feel like somebody wants you to, it's like they're coercing you to make a decision with the Seven of Cups and then telling you, well, that was your choice. You did it. Knowing that they can hurt, they sort of, look, Gemini, somebody is trying to manipulate you, or they have tried to manipulate you. There's some sort of unbalance in this connection. Look at how this person is more over here than over here. They're not in the middle. Something is almost anchored to go more in someone else's way. Like they're benefiting from it. This is like a power thing. Somebody's using the Scorpio energy of power, maybe sex, love, death, something they're using to sort of manipulate you into making a decision. But I feel like they're going to put all were you the one who made that choice? You may go into something with someone, but you don't realize they're telling you to do something for them. Somebody's going to leave you out high and dry and let you take the fall for something that you both were in on. That's why I feel like you're saying, I trusted you. So you don't need to believe every shitty thought you have. I feel like somebody is like, oh, okay. They could have even convinced you that someone was very bad or you needed to behave a certain way, and like really supported you until they got you to a certain point to totally turn on someone. Once they got you to that point, it's like you started to think a certain way and something, or tell yourself things that weren't true in this Neptune delusional state, and you started having these shitty thoughts. And it's like, thoughts can be lying, sneaky bastards. You may realize something after the fact, and somebody's letting you take the fall for something. So be very careful about going along with what everybody else want or how they feel. Because I really feel like somebody's going to go into a situation with you, try to get you to do something that's going to benefit them the most, and then leave you high and dry when things are being exposed. They're going to kind of like let you take the fall for everything. So don't believe every shitty thought. It's like, oh no, I didn't tell them to go that far. I didn't tell them to do that. I just had this issue, but then I backed off. They did all that extra stuff. Yeah, somebody's going to like kind of, so you may need to think about, like, use your own mind. Let's see what your message is. If you want to be more successful in life, your priority should be to focus your mindset on all that you want to attract into this life. Trust that more is happening than what you can see. Many forces are at work in your favor. Allow them to help you. So you are going to have some sort of saving grace here. Gemini. So be careful. Again, your only warning in this reading is don't let somebody manipulate your mind fuck you, because I do feel like you're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel like you shouldn't have trusted someone who you shouldn't have trusted, because I feel like they're going to tell you to trust them or do something, and they're going to make it seem like it's the beneficial of everyone involved, when really it's just they're getting some sort of kickback, or it's something that's beneficial to them more that you don't know about, that they're not revealing to you. And they may do this, like get you inebriated. Oh, let's go have some drinks, or let's smoke this weed, or let's go do something, or they may show you a lot of love. They could even be having sex with you or promising you sex, and the whole time you're sitting here thinking you're going to do something or get something, and the whole time it's like an illusion, and you're trusting someone. And then it's like, so you don't feel like you're being manipulated. You start to have all these other thoughts outside of that, and making yourself feel like these are my thoughts. This is how I feel. But it's rooted in some lack of balance in a connection. You trying to appease someone. But you are the saving grace is you're going to see something for what it is. I do feel like you can save this moment or salvage something. It's just you're gonna have to do something different. You may have to go in and change your behavior, or admit to something, or just like change course or something. Okay, Gemini? All right. Yeah, listen to that. I feel like it's urgency behind you needing to change something. You can still change it and save a situation. You're just gonna have to do it quick. 411 is on the clock. That could mean something, okay? Maybe an Aries that's born on the 11th is significant, or 6 could be significant. A Gemini, 6 month could be significant. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's see. Let's move forward to Cancer. What is Cancer message? What is Cancer message? What is Cancer message? Begin. May you start as if you've already begun. So in your mind, Cancer, you need to start something. That's where it begins, in your mind, okay? So go ahead and begin something as if you've already begun it. So this is you taking the first step towards something in your life. This isn't you've thought about it long enough. If you look at this picture here, there's like a dock, there's sand, there's greenery, there's all the elements there, there's sun, there's wind, there's the ocean there before them. So something is a vast, you could have a idea, but you don't even realize how vast it is. Like, we couldn't imagine how vast the ocean is, okay? Even if you would have to like fly over it. And I don't even think then you would understand, because you don't understand how deep it is in certain places. You have not been to the deepest part of the ocean and survived. So there's something that you couldn't even imagine how deep and how vast something really is. But let your imagination go to where it needs to go. The depths, the heights, whatever it needs to. Just begin something. Just start something. And don't talk yourself out of it. Go after whatever it is that you need to go after. Don't talk yourself out of this. Whatever it is. Maybe you're saying, oh, I want to start a business, or I want to start something, but this is a time when you need to like look as deep into it as you can, and as far as what can you do, okay? What is this? Knight of Swords, going after what you want, being very brave, not wasting any time, taking opportunities as they come. And really, chivalry is not dead. You're going to, something about that is significant. Chivalry is not dead. Maybe someone is opening a door for you, and you're like, you know what, I like the way that feel. Or someone is doing something for you, and you're like, I like the way that feel. And it's reassuring you that something is still happening today that used to be a beautiful thing at one time, right? So I do, I do feel like this is a time in your life where you're going to go after your dreams. Okay, don't move in haste. You're not being encouraged to move in haste, but you are being encouraged to go after what you want. Really think through a situation. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy there. A lot of communication, thinking, networking. So take the moment. Maybe this could represent business. This could represent grounding yourself. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're in sand, like things are not on sturdy ground. Other times you're going to feel like you're on earth and, you know, things are on solid ground. Other times you're going to feel like you have an uphill battle or something downhill. So this is you going with the tides in life emotionally, but letting the sun rise and set on whatever ideas you have, okay? What works, what does not work, but still just making that attempt to go after. You're beginning something. Knight of Swords is a knight in action. You taking the steps, not just sitting back thinking about something, but really going after it, okay, Cancer? All right, so let's see what else is coming out with this message here. I would do it all again. So there could be times where you felt like you did something and it just didn't work out. And you were kind of like, you know what? But I don't have no regrets. I would do it all again. Maybe there are people who are looking at you and kind of wondering if you regret some sort of decisions you've made in life, certain things you said or did or something like that. But I do feel like you're Cancer. You're like, you know what? I would do it all again. I would do it all again. I have no freaking regrets. If this did not work out in the past, so be it. At least I learned some valuable lessons from it. You took the bull by the horns in some area of your life, and I feel like you're being called to do it again. You're being called to take the bull by the horns in some areas of your life, like not shortchange yourself. Times it worked out, times it didn't. Okay. But you do whatever you're focused on, you don't lose focus. You go right after what you want. You could have numerous zodiac signs uniting or connecting. Aquarius could be more significant here. Aries could be significant. Libra could be significant. Of course, you as Cancer. It's something that you're like, I don't regret a choice. I don't. Some people may say you jumped the gun or something like that in the past, like you moved too quick. But I feel like you're like, I don't regret choices that I made. You went out, you stood up for what you believe in. And you'll do it again if you had the chance. Somebody may want you to regret a choice you made or a decision you made. You've had ups and downs. Times you felt like you were on sand. It wasn't a stable thing. You know, your feet felt like they were sinking. Other times you felt solid on earthly ground. You know, you felt solid. Other times you felt like you were in water where you had to swim. Sink or swim situation. But whatever this is, Cancer, it looks like you're willing to take a chance. You're willing to begin something. You're willing to take a start. You're willing to start something. You feel like, okay, this isn't something isn't new. Starts are not new to you. That's what I'm saying. Starts are not new. You have already taken numerous chances in life. Some people sit back and look at situations like, I'm not doing that. I ain't being embarrassed. I'm not about to make that choice. I'm not about to do that. I don't care what nobody think. I ain't doing this. I'm not about to look like a fool. You like, you know what? I don't give a shit about nobody think. I'm just going to take a chance. May the chips fall where they may. So there's something, Cancer, where you're like, you're going to go ahead and just do this. This isn't new to you. You're beginning something because whereas some people, it may be new to them, but this is something you've done before already. Whatever this is, you've already done it before. So you kind of got some of the steps. Maybe you missed some other steps in the past, but you're about to do something again, embark upon a new journey again. All the elements are here: air, communication, network, um, thoughts, writing, contracts, um, verbal communication, non-communication, seeing, every aspect of communication, thinking, voices, how you communicate, how you hear things. All of that is in play. Your passion about something is significant. Fire energy here. You taking the lead on a situation, being the brave one, not caring, not waiting for people to really back you, but just saying, I'm going to do this in spite of what others think. Exploring your options out here. Okay. And if it brings you attention, whether it's good or bad, you're okay with that. You enjoy the attention. You're like, shit, like, you know what, people gonna talk about you whether you're doing good or bad anyway. So yeah, you don't care whether people are talking. And then I do feel like this earthly situation has a lot to do with you focused on something that you can invest in, and you're willing to put your all into it. You're willing to put your everything into it to bring, to build what you want, and your public reputation matters to you. So you do want to look good, and you're like, every man for themselves. I hear that, every man for themselves. So you're willing to do something in spite of what everybody thinks, and it's like survival of the fittest. That's how you could see a situation that you're going head into, like survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive around me, or only the strong, something like that. A lot of emotions, a lot of your emotions, you're looking at things the way that they are. Cancer, you're looking at the emotions. You have that hard outer shell, but you do have emotions for a situation. You can hold on to things with everything you got, or once you let it go, even if it tries to come back in, you have the hard shell set up to where you don't have to let it penetrate you anymore, okay? Or come back in and affect you in some way. And you don't have a problem with biting or stinging, or clamping down on something to cause great pain if you need to. You don't have a problem with swimming away from situations if you need to. So I do feel like you're using all the elements in some area of your life to navigate through what you want, to create some sort of new beginning and see it through. Okay. Your message is move the F on. Time to let go. You may have been holding on to something for far too long, Cancer. Like, it's time to let go. It's time to move on from something that you've been holding on to. You would do it all again. Yeah. And I feel like somebody wants, they may be bringing up, oh, you made this decision, you made that choice. Oh, and well, but you're like, and I would do it all again. And and what's your point? What's your point? I will do it all again. But you're letting go of something. You're not holding on to. I feel like this could be a situation where more people around you are holding on to something than you are. Okay? Somebody may want you to regret a choice or a decision that you made that you've let go of. It's time to let go of it. You've moved the fuck on. You're not thinking about it. Like, you're not dwelling on something. But I feel like it's more people around you who want you to go after something. You may be onto another endeavor, like something new that you want to start, something you've been thinking about. Before this other situation resolved itself, you were already onto something mentally. You were thinking about something mentally, even if everybody around you was still emotionally connected to something. Okay? You may be like, look, I done moved on. Or it's time for me to move on. Like, I'm already thinking about some sort of new situation, new project, new endeavor or something. Let's see what your message for the universe is. Prioritize self-healing right now. Put your needs above others for once. It's time to focus on you. Self-healing takes time and a lot of self-love. Remember, open wounds don't heal into scars overnight. Take the time you need in order to feel happier, healthier within yourself. There is no rush, okay? So again, you may be trying to get to another situation. This could even be, this looks like this is even you trying to rush to hurry up and get through something. You know, deal with things accordingly. I'm not going to say Capricorn. Capricorn could be significant, but deal with things accordingly, Cancer. There's no rush. Like, don't try to hurry up. And you would do it all again, even if somebody's trying to make you feel guilty about a choice you made or bringing it up or something like that. But you may be ready to just move on to something new. You know, prioritize your healing. Whatever your healing journey is going to be different from other people. There could be people who want you to dwell on something, but your healing journey is letting you know it's time to move on from it. You know, dwelling on something for too long isn't healthy for you. Holding on to something too long isn't healthy. You've gotten all the new. If you think about a crab at the bottom of the oceans, think about this. Whales die, right? Crabs will eat off of whale carcasses that have everything that's floating. Crabs are bottom feeders. They'll sit back and take whatever they need to create some level of nutrients for themselves, right? And whatever they need to do to survive, they will. They get out of any shell that they outgrow. They get into another shell, but there's a vulnerability state in their life when they're transferring from one hard shell into another, right? And so there's a time where you do deal with vulnerability, and there could be people who maybe either are seeing you at this moment of you trying to get out of something that kept you feeling small or trapped, you know, and you're trying to get into a bigger shell, so to speak, of life. And you got people around you wanting you to stay in that small shell, small frame of mind. And it's like, no, you're thinking bigger and better. You know, you're ready to move on from something. Maybe your issues with someone has benefited other people, and it's time for you to say, you know what, I don't have time for that shit. I want something different. I don't have, you know. So this is you, maybe you realize you do need to heal, but you're keeping something going over time has benefited others, and this is a time for you to say, I get that y'all benefited from my issues, but now I need to heal from my issues. And if you all no longer benefit from me having these issues, then so be it. You're ready to turn some sort of page in your life and be in a different chapter. And I love that for you, Cancer, because this is significant. It matters, okay? So something that you've been thinking about for a while, maybe you have not put the steps forward yet, but you've been really thinking about it. And now that you've kind of looked at all the players in the situation, your perspective, others' perspectives, whether they be friend or foe, you are definitely ready to move forward. And I love this for you because this shows a lot of growth, okay? And you prioritizing self-healing right now over everything else. Just not being who you used to be. We shed, I think it's between 20 to 50,000 skin cells, maybe within a hour. And can you imagine that? That means who you were an hour ago, you're not who you are an hour later. Literally, you're not who you are an hour later. You're not. And think about how life happens. Something can happen in a millisecond to change your life. So, Cancer, you're being encouraged to not let others influence who you are on this spiritual journey that you're on. Take those steps to move forward. Doesn't matter if other people agree with you or not. This is your journey. It's your life. Take control of it. Time to let go of what no longer serves you. And if you would do something all over again, then that's your choice. Okay, maybe you made a decision and people are like, oh, you know, you need to do something, do it, whatever it is. It's your life. Anyway, let's move on to Leos. Okay, so Leo, let's see what your energy is, Leo. Let's see what the energy is for my Leos. Let's see what the energy is for my Leos. Let's see what the energy is for my Leos. Let's see what this energy is for my Leos. Wild. May you express all you are. Leo, you could have been holding yourself back. That is hard for me to believe for Leo, but yeah, you could have been holding yourself back in some ways. Because if you look at this, this is like the ocean coming in huge waves. You know, and you could have a huge surge of emotions that you've really been kind of holding back. This is you being wild and adventurous and expressing yourself in a way that you've never done it before. Maybe you've been holding back all of this energy and you really, maybe it's because your family, you were protecting your family, your friends, or, you know, maybe it's your job or something that you've been holding yourself back, you know, in some kind of way. And it's just like you built up all of these emotions over time, and now you're just ready to let them come forth. Okay, you're ready to, water carves out rock. Okay, but you're a fire sign, so some of you will have significant earth or water placement within your natal chart. You need to know this. Okay, something just popped outside. This could be a pop. Maybe you're dealing, something is popping in your life. Okay, get your tires looked at, Leo. Okay, also, but pop could represent something is just, it's like really making a statement in your life. Okay, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I do feel like some of y'all need to get your vehicle looked at. Okay, maybe you're just taking it in to get service or something like that. But some of you all are going into the wild. You may be going near an ocean, or you could be going to the national parks. You could be going to somewhere where there's wildlife, water, things like that, beaches, things like that. I do see you getting what you want in some way. You know, this is you expressing your voice, you're expressing your energy, just living a better life, just like being so optimistic about where you're going and what you want, feeling free in some ways, you know, and willing to face whatever battles have come your way, carving out your own way in life. That's basically what you're doing. You're carving out your own way in this life, Leo. Four of Cups, Cancer could be significant here. Maybe you're over a situation. You could be disinterested in something that comes your way. This may be something that comes out of the blue too. Something you're not even expecting. You could be focused on something else. Maybe you're distracted with the situation right now. You're focused on these other three cups that are standing. So you're kind of missing an opportunity. Be careful about that. Maybe you're kind of doing your thing right now and you're not really paying attention to all these other things that are happening around you. Okay, if you think about this looks like glass in one area and brick in other areas. So some things could be sort of glass and easy to break. You know, other things could be solid right now. You know, you may feel like something isn't really stable that's backing you. I feel like, but if you look at this energy here, their back is more to the brick, right? So maybe you feel like something, you know, you're missing something that is coming out of glass because you feel more connected to a solid situation. You may be missing an opportunity because you're looking at it like it's glass, it's easy to break, it's not on solid ground, and you have more of a solid backing when it comes to this some sort of situation. But you seem to be, you could be going through depression or some level of it. You're distracted or disinterested. You're not even paying attention. There's something pertaining to this Cancer energy here. A Cancer could be significant, a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, also Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo could be significant, or you may have those significant placements within your natal chart. And it looks like there's an opportunity being presented to you. Somebody with significant air placement as well, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, could be offering something, okay? And maybe you're missing this opportunity because you feel so secure with where you already are in life. So you're not really paying attention. Your phone is down. This could be a missed call, a missed email, a missed opportunity, because you're so busy focused on these 3 cups that's already standing. And you may be dealing with a situation where you're not even paying attention to what's coming in. So make sure something is meant for you, Leo. You know, but maybe you're like, okay, for some of you all, you have become complacent where you are and you don't realize it. You don't even see that there are other options, or you're so busy looking at something as not being secure because you feel so secure in what you already have that you're seeing something for what it is. It's something that you're not seeing or you're missing. That little voice inside you, listen to that shit. Something is telling you, you got a feeling you just can't shake. Yeah, there's something, you got a feeling here. You just can't quite shake it. You know you should pay attention to something. Something is, it's like that little voice, something that seems so minute, but it won't quite let you go. And it seems like everything else is so much important, but so important, but something just won't. You need to listen to that little voice inside of you, because it's an opportunity that's being presented to you, Leo, that you're not paying attention. It's going to release your wild side, the way you're able to express yourself. And all that who you are inside. You could be withholding a lot from yourself, from people, you could even feel really refined, held back. It's by something that you're dealing with some sort of illusion though, and don't realize it. This could connect to your home life, where you're from, what makes you feel safe and secure in this world. It's like you're not willing to, you feel safe in some area, but it also makes you feel like you're confined. Something else is scary. A new walk in life is scary. A new way of doing things is scary. It feels like glass, like you're standing on glass, when at first you felt like you were standing on brick. You felt like you had a solid backing, but something else is being offered to you you're not sure about. So you're not even paying that much attention to it, but that little voice inside is telling you, here I am, a new opportunity, a new chance to do something, see something, be adventurous, like live out that wild side. Yeah. Let me see. Your final message. Your final message is, love yourself more by saying no to things that feel draining and burdening for you. Saying no when you want to say no instead of saying yes to please others is a real act of self-love. So that's what this is, Leo. You've been saying yes to something to accommodate everybody else. You haven't really been showing yourself self-love because you've been holding yourself back. You've been wanting to be you've been wanting to tap into that wild version of yourself, but you have not done it because you're worried about having some sort of backing. You felt like a backing was solid. And if you see and explore this wild version of yourself, it's going to be more on glass. This is you getting those fears out of the way. You got a feeling that if you do something, it's going to work out, but you're afraid to do it. This is basically saying you need to go ahead and do whatever the heck you want to do. You literally got this life to live. You don't necessarily have one life, but you got this life to live. You need to go after what you want instead of like shortchanging yourself. An opportunity is being presented to you, but you're not sure of the backing behind the opportunity because you feel like it's either on shaky ground, glass, or something. And you're so you've become complacent in something that even feels draining or burdening to you, but you're just used to that. You become complacent in chaos. And instead of you being honest with yourself with that, and just saying, okay, there is another option out here, but I'm afraid of that option, even if that little angel is on my shoulder saying, here I am. Take a chance on me. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's like you keep holding yourself back. So this is you being encouraged to take a chance on yourself. That's it, Leo. All right, I'm going to keep moving on because I feel like that's all the messages for Leo that I can get. Let's move on to Virgo. Let's see what this energy is for Virgo. What is our message for Virgo? What is our message for Virgo? What is the message for Virgo? What is the message for Virgo? Clear. May you see things as they are. Virgo, that is your message. And of course, Virgo is very analytical when it comes to seeing something for what it is, paying attention to detail. So clear. May you see things as they are. So Virgo, you know what this card is saying? You need to see something for what it is because your vision is cloudy. As much as you are known to be the zodiac sign that pay attention to every little detail, sometimes you can analyze to the point where you start to not see things as to what they are because you're kind of changing them into what you want them to be opposed to what they really are. Okay, so there's a situation where you need to see something in a clear manner. Something could be, if you look at this picture here, it's foggy. You're not seeing something for what it really is. As a Virgo, we all say, oh, Virgo see everything. They pay attention to detail. That doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes. Detail is based on what they want to see. Virgos see what they want to see. And whatever they want to see, they dissect it to the 100th power. Okay? So it's something that you're not seeing clearly, Virgo. Whatever this is, may you see things as they are, opposed to what you want them to be. Okay? Let's see something else. What's going on? What does Virgo need to see clearly? Because you're seeing things cloudy. There's a lot of water here, so that lets me believe Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio significant. Ace of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. There it is. Those signs could be significant. You're seeing something cloudy, okay? Either you're crying a lot or laughing a lot. You're happy about a situation that's coming in. Very elated about something that's happening in your life, an offer. This could be a new beginning, a new start, a lot of emotions in a situation here. Okay, you could have significant Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio placement, but you need to see something for what it really is, not what you want it to be, because something about your vision has been cloudy thus far. Okay, and I do feel like if you look at this card, this looks like it's under the sea. This is above the sea. So something is about to come up out of the sea. I almost feel like if you look at these cards, I feel like this cup was under the surface and it's coming up, and that's why all of this is coming out. Everything that's no longer necessary is coming out of this cup and being poured back into the sea, and the only thing that's going to be left is this heart here. You're seeing something with a lot of heart. You sing it from the heart, okay? Ace of Cups, they're saying something for what is needed. the rawness of something is about to be exposed to you, because you were very cloudy, Virgo, in a situation. Okay, so pertaining to a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Let's see what else is coming out here, or pertaining to your emotions. Get in your heart. It misses you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get the out of your head. Okay. So, Virgo, some of you have been in your head way too much. And look at the heart. I said nothing will be left but the heart. Get in your heart, and it misses you. So, you have been dealing with a situation that has made you feel sometimes. So one thing people don't realize is if you're two in your head, 444, look that number up, angel number 444. If you're two in your head, you won't connect to your heart chakra, meaning that you won't be speaking from the heart, seeing things from the heart. Your heart connects to your mind, and it connects to the rest of your body. It has a huge influence on what you do, think, feel, even if it's unconscious energy. Okay. I feel like you kind of tried to get away. You tried to deal with something in an analytical way and kind of put all of this murky energy around your heart energy, okay? Your heart chakra. So it's like your heart is being pulled up out of all this murky energy, and seems you're being able to see your heart clearly for what it is, and anything that no longer serves you, all of that energy is going back into the sea. Okay, so this cup is flowing out. Anything that's, if you pour too much into a cup, it's going to overflow. Something is just way too much, and nothing but the heart chakra has to be, it has to be dealt with or be examined. You need to get the fuck out of your head though, Virgo, and deal with some things. Get into your heart. It misses you. You've been only thinking. You've been avoiding your real emotions. That's neglecting yourself, whether you realize it or not. You may not feel like it at the time, but you've been neglecting your real emotions because you've been so busy focusing on what you think. Analytical, okay? Got to find balance between analytical and emotional energy, practicality and spirituality. There's a balance in life no matter what. And anytime you throw things off balance, balance will find a way. Pisces is your opposite signs, your sister sign though. So a Pisces could be significant here with all this water here. So there's something that brings you balance that you've been lying to yourself about. And until you be honest with yourself, you've been trying to deal with things in an analytical way, but until you deal with things facing your heart chakra, you're going to keep being murky about it. And you're not being real with yourself, as much as Virgo is known to be detail orientated. But think about this. If you pay attention only to one detail, that means you're neglecting everything else. That means you're still not seeing something for what it really is. Okay? All right, so let's see what your message is from the universe. Live your life to its fullest potential. Let go of the need for approval from others. Live up to your own expectations and nobody else's. No more selling yourself short. Keep moving forward. You've got this, okay? So there is a situation in your life where you need to continue to live your life to the fullest. You could have been looking for approval from other people, and that's what made you get into that analytical side, because you felt like if you paid attention to your emotions, it was not going to get you the level of support that you really wanted. Maybe you were appeasing certain people, okay? And they had their ulterior motives of why they needed you to feel a particular way, or you were catering to them, so you letting them know you feel some kind of way about something, okay? But this is you living up to your own expectations, not everybody else's. This is your particular. We could have parents, kids, siblings, extended family, co-workers, neighbors. We can all these things and we still have our own life. So this is you saying, I got my own life. Okay. Keep moving forward. You've got this. No more selling yourself short, because this is coming out because you've been selling yourself short, because you've been limiting your clarity when it comes to certain situations, when it comes to your emotions pertaining to people, places, or things. You've been accommodating people. Maybe you've been saying, oh, well, they don't like them, so I'm not going to like them, and I'm going to focus on everything that's wrong with them. And Virgos can pick one thing that's wrong with a person and magnify it to the 100th power. That's that focusing on detail. Does that alter their real reasoning? Absolutely, because that means that you're not focusing on the good and the bad. You're not focusing on what they bring to the table. You're not focusing on why you feel this way. Are you accommodating someone else? So it's something that you need to look at and kind of clear out. This wouldn't be coming out if it didn't say this. This is something that you need to clear out, and you need to live your life to the fullest potential, not based on what someone else wants you to do. Okay? All right. So you could have been accommodating others, and now you're kind of being encouraged to just really tap into that heart chakra energy instead of just your mind. Okay? All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to Libra. Okay, so Libra. So this energy for Libra. This Libra energy. Just Libra energy. Just Libra energy. Just Libra energy. Lightness. May the light lift you to the surface. So something could have felt very heavy, Libra. Something in your life may have felt very heavy. And you could have felt like you were overcome by a lot of emotions. You're being encouraged to let the light lift you to the surface. Let your emotions come to the surface. Deal with things on a surface level. Maybe you have delved so deep into something, kind of got lost in the darkness of it, dealing with the shadows, not knowing how to come out of the shadows of a situation, not knowing how to say, this is what happened, and now it's time for me to just find my way out of the darkness of this particular situation, person, place, or thing. This is a time where it's okay to let the light lift you to the surface. Being in a higher vibration. That card fell for a reason. Page of, and I'm not going to pick it up. It was an earth card too. So some of you all have significant earth placement. Okay, I'm going to do a part 2 to this.